Check will be recording. Yes, we are. Wait, is that the wrong way around though? Yes. Hello, welcome back, or welcome. This is the second time I tried filming this because the first time I went rambling and lost where I was in my script and thought I was repeating myself and then started questioning it to the point where I was just like, I need to start again. So that's what we're doing. Hello, my name's Autumn and welcome to the channel. This is Nothing But Chaos if you're new here, which I imagine you're not because there's only 5 of you watching. I imagine it's the same 5 people, but you know, if you are new here, welcome to Chaos. That's all it is. It's just me rambling about books and pretending that I have structure. Anyway, let's just get on with it, shall we? First up, I want to apologise for any pronunciations with the names I'm about to read because the last time I spoke Spanish was when I was doing my GCSEs, which was like, I was going to say 5 years ago, but it's like 7 years ago now. Ooh. Aging. Lovely. Anyway, I haven't spoke Spanish in a long time, and I was never particularly fluent in it anyway. And the author here is Argentinian. I'm not sure about the audiobook narrator, but yeah, both of them are at the very least from Spanish-speaking countries. So that's not something I am not. That's not something I am not. I am not a Spanish speaker. Anyway, let's get on with it. So we have Tender is the Flesh by Augustina Basterica, and the audiobook is read by Joseph Balderrama and translated by Sarah Moses. Before we get onto the plot, can we please talk about the audiobook cover art? It's so beautiful. I mean, it's simple, but just so effective. Mwah. Chef's kiss. 10 out of 10. I just love it. It is, like I said, it's real simple, but it doesn't need to be, you know, extravagant or anything like that. It just, I love it. I just think it's great. So, this book is about a man who works for a company that... Actually, let's take it back. Let's not talk about the man. It is about a man that works for a company that is a livestock. You know, I can't remember exactly how he fits into this wider company, but basically, this is a world where, now, it's not exactly clear whether animals genuinely have had a disease that means they are no longer able to be consumed and that the animals have to be wiped out because it could cause damage to humans, or if the government has said this, you know, with use of propaganda, and not just this isn't just one country, this is a worldwide thing by the sounds of it, but the, you know, governments at large may have made this up about the animals to wipe them out, and therefore meaning that the only edible meat left is human meat. I mean, lovely, scrumptious. Who doesn't want to nibble on a little bit of person meat? I don't know why I said that. It's just, point I'm getting to is we have our lead character and he works for a company that deals with the livestock. There are, not necessarily a Handmaid's Tale kind of way, more in a, there are certain people that have been bred to then become livestock, that these are not necessarily humans as you would know them, kind of thing. Like the difference between wild bison and farmland cows, like the livestock, you know, meat farm kind of cows, that kind of difference. These livestock humans have had they no longer have vocal cords, they behave skittish like caged animals, It's, you know, that kind of thing. It is exactly an allegory. Is it? It is exactly as much of an allegory about the meat and dairy industry as you might think it is. And then we have our main character, whose name I can't remember. I'll put it here. At some point, he is gifted a female human livestock person. It follows his life, following really pretty much the point where he's been given this human female and what happens in his life. There is this line early on, I believe not long before he's given this human female. It feels weird to be talking like this, but I want to be able to make the distinction of when I'm talking about, you know, here is a regular human woman, she exists in this world as a character, and here is the meat female who is there to be bred, milked, slaughtered for meat. And if you're uncomfortable by that, good, because that's just how cows work. They're bred for that. And it's like, I say cows, also pigs and all that sort of stuff, but there are a lot of cow comparisons when they're talking about the way it used to be and how it is now, which I was surprised. I sort of expected it to be more pigs, but maybe I was expecting it to be pigs because people often make comparisons between humans and pigs, because I don't know, actually. I mean, apparently the skin is very similar for tattoo artists, and apparently according to some cannibals they taste kind of the same, but that sounds really weird. I have watched and read like true crime content. I'm making myself out to be an absolute nutter. Brilliant. Let's just get on with it. There's a line early on before he's given the human meat female, and it is really effective at that point in the novel. It's quite early on, and then revisiting it now that I've finished, just it hits a bit different and it's beautiful. He doesn't call it special meat. He uses technical words to refer to something human that will never be a person. I just think that's phenomenal. I just think that's wonderful, because I mean, it sums up the issue that I was having there of that separation, and this book does cover that a lot, especially when you get to the final part. No spoilers here, you absolutely have to experience that for yourself. Oh my god, like, it just, it is a lot, but it's well worth it. You know, this is the sort of book that makes you uncomfortable, as it should, because I'm not going to sit here and say this book's going to make you vegan, because it won't. It probably won't, but I will say you may well reflect on the way you consume products. And even if you don't reflect on the way you consume products, I think it makes you look at the way you talk about it. I mean, I'm sure there are, I've got vegan friends who know this all along, and I'm not talking about the sort of people that have done their research into this kind of thing, but for me, who, I don't eat meat on the whole, I sometimes consume some dairy products and eggs and that kind of thing, and occasionally if I'm in a restaurant I will eat something like fish. My consumption of animals and their products is try and do as little as possible. I do what I can, because living genuinely vegan is either expensive or tastes bad. And that's just from what I've experienced. Obviously, I can be completely wrong about that, but it is what it is. But it's the sort of thing that, this is the sort of book that makes you think about that kind of thing, just makes you reflect. And you may change nothing about yourself, but I almost guarantee that you will sit there and go, you will just look at yourself in a very different way and look at how you consume things. Almost guarantee it. I will say, once this book was finished, I had to take this like deep breath. It hit hard, and while it isn't an easy book to read, I do recommend that you find a copy, because it's just, you know, generally I do read a lot more. I do generally prefer reading easy content. I read a lot of things, you know, like romance or like light-hearted sci-fi stuff and that kind of thing. I like generally light-hearted content. Comedies and that sort of thing generally are a bit more up my alley. But I still think this book is phenomenal, and I'm absolutely gonna get myself my own copy of this, even if I only get myself my own audiobook copy, because I really liked the audiobook reading of this, as long as it is by, because obviously the version on BorrowBox may not be available elsewhere, but I think it's a Belinda audiobook, which are generally quite easy to find. I do want my own version of this because the audiobook narrator for that was brilliant. Like I said though, the version I had was on BorrowBox, the library ebook and library app, like ebook and audiobook library app. You just, if I remember rightly, you put your library card details in or something like that, or like whatever you would use to log on to library computers where you are, log into your app and you get access to a boatload of audio and ebooks. It's well worth it. I'd say definitely go for it. Man, I was so glad I had this next book alongside the last one, because it's not like it's sunshine and rainbows, but it is a whole lot lighter than Tender as the Flesh. Like, I think sometimes if I am reading a darker book, I do prefer to have something a little bit light-hearted on the side, even if it's, sometimes I'll just have a podcast or something like that, just because, like, it's not that I don't like reading dark books, you know, either scary or hard-hitting like this or anything like that, just anything that's, you know, dark. But sometimes I want light-hearted as well, man. I'm a baby. I really am. I'm not gonna lie to you. I am soft. And I cry at absolutely everything. So sometimes I just want something more light-hearted, and that's exactly what this is. A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton. I looked up and it seems to be the same as Sarah. So A Wolf for a Spell by Kara Sutton is about, oh, hang on, I've got to break it down. So you have three main characters. You have, well, not even three. It's a Russian folktale, basically. We have Baba Yaga body swapping with a wolf. We also have a young girl trying to help out, a young orphan girl trying to help out one of the women that works at the orphanage she's at. This woman is also being married off to the Tsar. I hope that's how you say it. Russian king, man. Pretty sure that's Tsar. It's all magic and folktales and fairy story kind of vibes. And it's an adventure, really. It's sweet, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's got all the right levels of, you know, peril to keep you captivated, to keep you interesting. But at the end of the day, it is a wholesome, sweet book. I mean, it's for kids, so generally it's like, even if you've got it something, you know, a bit spooky or scary, or you've got peril, at the end of the day, it's generally going to be a bit more light-hearted than the other book that I've read this week. If I'd have found this as a kid, I would have been on one of those books I would have read on repeat constantly, like stories of witches and magic in a folktale kind of setting. Oh, they had me hooked when I was younger. I mean, I'm not gonna say that's any different now, except the difference is the fairy tales I'm reading by Angela Carter, and those are very different types of stories, because I do have her books on repeat as well, and they're just different, obviously, if you ever read them. But honestly, that's how I try to review books that are for a younger audience, is that, can you enjoy this as an adult? Would I have enjoyed it? Like, can I enjoy this as an adult? Would I have enjoyed this as a kid? And the answer to that in both ways are yes. I bloody loved this book. I looked forward to reading it every single day. Because if you're looking for something fun yet simple, then this is for you. Because I know I've got friends who prefer to read stuff for younger readers sometimes, if not all the time, just because it is easier, and I don't think there's any shame in it. I think a lot of people go, oh, adults reading kids books. Like, yeah, A, because a lot of them are bloody good, and B, like, they're simpler to read. I have a lot of friends who struggle to read, like, content for older readers, as much as anything, because of things like dyslexia and things like that. Don't shame people for reading books for younger readers, in the same way you shouldn't shame people for reading audiobooks, because there's a load of reasons why people should be allowed to just read and enjoy whatever they like. Get a grip. Anyway, back to the point. I was reading this like steadily throughout the week, and I just looked forward to my time with this book. I know I've not gone into detail as much with it, but I don't know, I think it's the sort of thing that I want you to enjoy all of for yourself. It's just something sweet and magical about it. It's hard to explain. For me, I particularly loved the experience of getting to see more non sort of German or French folk tales and fairy tales. It was nice to see something outside of that, because that is most of what I have seen. It's what I've grown up with, things like the Brothers Grimm stories, or Charles Perrault, is that how you say that? But basically, most of the fairy tales you would have read growing up would have been by one of those three, but those two, I think the Brothers Grimm counting as one unit, and then Charles Perrault counting as the other. It was nice to see something outside of this, and while this is playing with aspects of fairy tales rather than it being a retelling of a single fairy tale, I just think it worked so well, and I just really enjoyed that experience. Whether it's for you or for a younger reader in your life, or even just for anybody else who wants to read something for younger readers, I've already made my point clear on this, then yeah, I absolutely recommend this. Like with the last one, I think I'm going to get myself a copy of this, my own copy of this, because I think it'd be a nice little thing to have as a comfort for when I need it, just keep it, I was about to say by my bed, under my pillow, because that's how it has to be, because I can't keep things by my bed, because that's on the floor. As you can tell, I've got a loft bed. You can't put things by your bed unless I get an exceptionally tall nightstand. Can I do that? Could you? I mean, I couldn't do that in here. I've got a tiny little room, but do you think you could get like really tall nightstands designed for loft beds? I'm getting distracted. Anyway, hopefully all of this still looks pretty much the same, the lighting and angle and all that. Basically, I came to just check my footage, and a bit of it was missing from the end. I think my storage was full, but I've gone through, I've deleted some stuff, so hopefully now we're all good, and hopefully I didn't just accidentally delete the video that I just filmed. I just wanted to wrap up, saying that next week we will have the graphic novel, manga, whole collection, thingamajig, and the video essay should be coming really soon. I've been doing research twice a week for that, and I'm getting towards the end of it. I should be writing the script next week. Also, on Tuesday, you will be getting a wrap up of 6 of the best. I said I was going to do that in this video, but I think that will be a little bit long, so you're going to be getting that on Tuesday, and I would like you to let me know on that video if you want to see me do that again. You know, just give me a little cheeky comment or something. You can always do that on this video if you want. I don't know. I can't control you. But yeah, thank you for coming along. I hope to see you again soon. Right,